Now, the pandemic probably took a toll on your body during this time, including the quarantine 15, which most of us are probably still trying to work off, even as a New Year's resolution goal. Well, we want to help you right here today boost your body goals with a very new advanced technology. It is a wearable medical device that is essentially hands-free. To share more about this innovative technology, we are joined today by dermatologist at DERMA Skin Institute in Guelph, Dr. Dusan Sajic. Thank you so much for joining us here on #Trending.
Thanks so much for having me, and I agree with you. This is definitely the quarantine 15. The other thing I've heard is we had the COVID-19, and then we moved into the COVID-20. Some people were unlucky and they got the COVID-20 as well. Not the disease, but the after effects. Yeah, I'm very excited about the technology because it's one of the first machines, actually the first machine that's not only able to do what Cool Sculpting did in the past, where it's, take away the fat, but it's actually hands-free. So, in a pandemic, we can just put it on while we're masked. You can sort of stay in, watch some Netflix kind of thing while you're in it, and it's perfectly safe. We've got ventilation that's running that's, almost twice as good and efficient as a hospital operating room. And then we have a UV light to kind of sterilize everything afterwards. So, so we can't go to the gyms, but hopefully this is the best next thing because not only does it do the fat, it can actually tighten the skin and also actually flex your muscles for you. So you're doing 20,000 abs and 20,000 crunches in 20 minutes.
Well, let's talk a little bit more about this new and evolved technology.
Before we used to have, one or two, never three things all in one. And usually you'd have to have two different machines. So it started all out with Cool Sculpting. I think most of us have heard it. And sort of it's the oldest one. They used to work on fat and they used to cool things. And so what we started seeing clinically is that some patients, not everybody, many did well, but there were some patients that actually had almost like we called it the Cool Sculpting shark bite, where they had the area because it was cooled. You saw little contour defects. Right. So the first devices came out after that were radio frequency, and that's heating. So we knew we could heat the fat. And really it first started with, treating patients like Cool Sculpting, but also treating Cool Sculpting patients that didn't get quite the results or had that lumpiness, and we could kind of go over it. And so now, now we have it hands-free. We can put it on almost like a little belt. It comes in these, you can see for us, as for my staff that comes in, it comes in these suitcases, and it's kind of like one of these, where you
so sleek and
which
beautiful.
One you want, which one you want, sort of thing. So this is it, and it reminds me of a Howie Mandel's show where you kind of get
the briefcase,
the briefcase. So we say, in our clinic, you don't have to choose; you can pick all three briefcases. You can get all of it, right?
Get all the best results in all of them.
That's it. So it comes with these little pods, and we can sort of place, you can see up to 8 of them. I don't know if that transmits pretty nice. So you can put it on a belt up to 8 of them, and you can sort of get the stomach, the love handles, and our staff just really sets you up. It takes about 5-10 minutes to set up, and then you're on your own and watching some Netflix for about 20 minutes if you're just doing the fat reduction. But if you're doing the muscle and the toning, all three can take up to an hour. So you can put on a nice TV show and watch it. What you started I don't know if you're like me, but I've sort of seen so many Netflix shows. So it's nice to kind of work out without really lifting a finger and do it, especially if I can't go to the gym.
This is such a great way to do that. And you were talking about we could hit multiple areas at a time.
That's right. That's exactly it. So it depends on your trouble spots. We always like to, what I love about it is it's very, very unique to the individual. So we can tailor it and sort of see what your goals are. If you're saying, I have a little bit, I want my biceps better, I want my stomach or my buttock better. We have these things. We have sort of 4 to 8 different hand pieces that we can sort of mix and match and put them in your area. So you don't have to do one at a time. You can do up to 3 at a time.
Full body workout.
Full body workout. But the good thing is it doesn't feel as sore. I mean, it's definitely, you'll feel the contraction, and we can go up to, the machine goes up to 50 different settings. I've only gone up to 27. Okay. And I know my staff is full of females that have had, pregnancy and childbirth,
so and say, well,
this is, you feel those contractions, and they're going up to 35, 40, and here's me going up to 27, and I'm sort of like, oh my gosh, how can you do this? And they're like, well, buddy, this is, imagine this for like 2 days, that's what labor is about. So I definitely appreciate, the better sex, much better now, right? So.
Thank you. We appreciate that for all women across who are watching. Now, since we're hitting all these areas, is there downtime for recovery when we're doing these treatments?
Generally zero downtime. So part of the technology is that the vibrations that it sends, in addition to stimulating the muscles, it actually helps with break up the lactic acid. So you're not going to really have that full, generally speaking, I mean, everybody's different, but for most patients, you're not really going to have that post-muscle burn because of the technology of the machine. There's always, with any device, there's always a potential side effect. So you always want to make sure you're meeting with a board-certified dermatologist, plastic surgeon. I generally recommend somebody in the core aesthetic industry. But really important to review it because like any device, there's potential for side effects, right? And so we have indications, contraindications, depending if you have like a defibrillator or a pacemaker or something, it might not be for you. So it's still one of these things that needs to be checked. But for vast majority of patients, there's no side effects. We can set the temperature. You can tell us if you're not tolerating it well. We can dial it down in real time. There's sort of like a little button you can press if you're sort of having issues while being heated, and it stops automatically. So lots of safety, lots of controls built in. The temperature gets checked like 1,000 times a millisecond to minimize chance of burns, right? So they're still possible, but with the proper safety, we generally sort of say negligible. And most people can just walk out and do their thing as if they've done nothing, like they got a haircut.
Sounds like we're in good hands when we're in your treatments. And it's so customizable, which is great because everyone is different. How do we know if we're a candidate for the Evolve trim?
Optimally for most of these treatments, really most people are candidates. It's just how much help are you going to get? And what are the specific areas? Is it the loose skin? Is it the fat? Is it the muscle? And that's why I love it, is because we can really mix and match and give you the optimal result. And say, maybe you need 4 sessions of this, 2 sessions of that, and you'll get there. The key thing is really if you're not a candidate, if you're looking for surgical results, you're not gonna be happy, right? So really what we're sort of saying is BMI under 40. If your BMI over 40, probably you need some kind of a surgical intervention. And then also how loose your skin is, right? So if you can pull, grab your skin and pull. So this here, what I'm pulling right there is probably about 2 inches. If you can pull sort of 3 inches up to sort of here, you might need a surgery, right? So it's hard to say. But I mean, if you can pinch it, it'll shrink. It's just, it's all about setting goals and expectations. And we like to be right up front with our patients and let them know, well, you'll lose about 1 to 2.5 inches of your waistline. If that's enough for you, then this is a great treatment. So really it's more about, and it also works on patients, I think, that are really already optimized. So if you're coming in, you're not exercising, you're not eating right, it's not going to work. Just like if you exercise, but you're not eating right, or you're eating right, but you're not exercising, you're not going to reach optimal goals. So really optimally, it's when you're well rested, well hydrated, you're exercising, you're doing all that you can with the diet, and you've sort of hit that last 10 to 15 pounds where it just doesn't want to come off.
That's really great information. And for someone who is getting this treatment, when can they see results?
So generally speaking, we'd say some patients see it almost right away within about 3-4 weeks, but the majority, you got to wait probably 2 to 3 months before you're. So that's the other good thing, is actually it gets the metabolism in that area going. The fat cells are slowly shrinking. The skin is shrink wrapping. And that takes time. So up to 3 months before you sort of see full results.
Eating well, exercising, and then combining this new Evolve trim, which can really help, boost your confidence, but also just the way you feel daily. Like, this is your body, your mind, and you're in control, right?
I love that you say that, because it is, we've seen 2 trends really, I love that we're seeing this body positivity, right? So where if you've got the body that you've got, but we also see that people that want to maximize their goals. And I think both are okay. You're individualized. Absolutely. We're not going to judge. We're going to try and help you either way and optimize your things.
And we want to thank you for joining us here on #Trending. And you are welcome back anytime.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Lily. This was fantastic. And you're a wonderful host. And your skin's glowing too. This was like a mini doxy meeting, and whatever you're doing, keep it up as well.